नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरा करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणि श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्धाप सिद्धान्तद्वान्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौमश्रीनाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते जयतां शरदोर्गङ्गुर् मामन्दमतेर्गति तत्सर्वस्वापदां भूजो राधा मदनमोहन दिव्यबृन्दारण्यकल्पदुर्मादः श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो दृष्ट्वादिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भे वंशीवटातटस्थितः कर्षं वेणो सुनेर्गोपीनाथः श्रीकृष्णः तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are in the 17th chapter after concluding the 16th chapter with two essential verses which talks about tasmat shastra pramanante karya akarya vyavastitau. What not to do, you decide based on scriptures. Shastra vidim utsrujya vartate kamakaratah. If somebody gives scriptures, scriptural injunctions, vartate kamakaratah, just acts according to his own whims and fancies, then nasiddhimapnoti, neither be attaining perfection, neither attain me, nor in this life will be happy. So to be happy in this life and at the same time attain perfection by going back home, back to Godhead, the only way is to accept scriptures. Those who follow the scriptures, they are called Devi. Those who don't follow scriptures, they are Asuri. So Asuri, Asuri means they are demons, demoniac. Now starts the 17th chapter, which is known as Shraddha. Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the division of faith. Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Now, Arjuna asks a question. What is question? He says, Arjuna Vacha, Ye Shāstrīdhim Utsrajya, Yajante Shraddhayanvita, Tesha Nishtadu ka Krishna, Sattvam Maho Rajas Tamaha. Then Arjuna says there are some people who don't follow scriptures. Without following scriptures, these people, they have a lot of Shraddha. They have a lot of Shraddha. Ya śāstrī yajante cha shraddhayanvitaha. They worship different people and they do different activities. Tesham nishtadu ka Krishna. For Krishna, the nishtha of such people, the shraddha of such people, is it sattva, is it rajas, is it tamas? Now, when Arjuna asks this question, Krishna, he answers various things in three modes of nature: sattva, rajas, tama. So, there are some who study the Veda, who have faith in the Vedas, undertake different activities as mentioned in the Vedas. But there are those who don't study the Veda, they ignore the Veda, and act according to their own whims and fancies, without rules and regulations. They are called demons. That is understood. The Devas are those who study Vedas and then act according to Vedic literatures, and those who don't study Veda, don't accept the principles, they are Asuras. It has been said in the previous chapter. Now, the question is, there are some people who know the Veda, but they give up the rules and regulations, worship some devatas according to their own concoction. What is their position? You cannot say they're demons because they're worshipping, but you cannot tell them they're devas, they're divine because they're ignoring the scriptural injunctions. So, are they sattvic? Are they rajasic? Are they tamasic? So, when the question was asked, the question says, Sattvam ahorajas tamaha. Is it sattvic or rajatamasic? So, the question is not whether are they sattvic or are they rajasic or are they tamasic. The question is, are they sattvic or rajas tamasic? Okay, this is the question asked by Arjuna. So please read the purport. Please read the purport.
Mandaleshwar Prabhuji, would you please read?
In the fourth chapter, 39th verse, it is said that a person faithful to a particular type of worship gradually becomes elevated to the stage of knowledge and attains the highest perfectional stage of peace and prosperity. In the 16th chapter, it is concluded that one who does not follow the principles laid down in the scriptures is called asura. Demons and asura, demon, and one who follows the scriptural injunctions faithfully is called a deva. With faith, follows some rules which are not mentioned in the scripture. What is his portion? Is to be cleared by the Krishna. Are those who are created some sort of God by selecting a human being and placing their faith in him? Do such person attain the perfectional stage of life if it is possible for them to be situated in knowledge and elevate themselves to the highest perfectional stage? Do those who do not follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures but who have faith in something and worship gods and demigods and men attain the success in their efforts? Arjuna is putting this question to Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So when Arjuna asks this question, then immediately Krishna starts answering the question. See, the śāstrī śraddha, faith born from the scriptures, is different. And people may show some faith. Faith itself is coming from goodness. But if it is not Shastriya, it is not based on scriptures, that is not called Shastriya Shraddha. Now just see, when we say Ado Shraddha in the Bhakti, it actually means Ado Shraddha Shastriya Shraddha, not Laukiki. Shastriya Shraddha. Now those who don't have Shastriya Shraddha still they may have Shraddha. They may have faith. And this faith comes from where by birth they have some impressions, that they have some sanskaras. It comes from there. That is what Krishna says. Trivida bhavati shraddha dehinam swabhavaja. Swabhavaja. It is born from swabhava. Swabhava means by birth they have particular swabhava. Yara satviki rajasi chaiva tamasi chetan shunu. Now here, according to Swabhava of a person by birth, Swabhavaja, sinful impressions which are coming from the previous lifetimes. So they show some kind of Shraddha. These three kinds of Shraddhas are there. That is Sattva, Rajas, Tama. And the Shraddha based on Sattva, Rajas, Tama, it is actually not scriptural. It is their mental concoction. It is because of Swabhava. In Swabhava, these three modes are there. Faith found on scriptures, that is different. The faith born from scriptures, it takes you to a different destination. And the faith born because of one's impressions, Swabhava, that is different. Read the purport.
Those who and regulations of the scriptures, but
Yeah.
out of ignorance or indolence, give up following these rules and regulations are governed by the modes of material nature. According to their previous activities in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, they acquire a nature which is of a specific quality. The association of the living entity with the different modes of nature has been going on perpetually. Since the living entity is in contact with material nature, he acquires different types of mentality according to his association with the material modes. But this nature can be changed if one associates with a bona fide spiritual master and abides by his rules and scriptures. Gradually, one can change his position from ignorance to goodness or from passion to goodness. This The conclusion is that blind faith in a particular mode of nature cannot help a person become elevated to the perfectional stage. One has to consider things carefully with intelligence in the association of a bona fide spiritual master. Thus, one can change his position to a higher mode of nature.
So a person is born a kind of particular nature, but with strong association, surrender to spiritual master, then he can overcome his nature by sadhana bhakti. He can overcome his nature. And it is manifest at the level of bhava. Hmm? Now, going further.
Hare
So,
Krishna. Just one
yes.
doubt. Prabhu, now we follows Hindus, we are Hindus, we are following Hindu scriptures, but Muslims follow their scriptures. Uh, they are not totally Veda based, but they have born in that their lives, means that conditions. How can this,
Yeah,
because that
that
is
those
injustice
scriptures
done
help
by
them to
Krishna.
become a human. When they become human, they get attracted to Krishna consciousness by studying Bhagavad Gita. So if most of the scriptures, especially Islam and Christianity, we are not talking about the religion, we're talking about the books. So these Bible and Quran, they are meant for a particular kind of people so that they can regulate their life to come to some higher level of existence. They can come attain the level of goodness or at least compassion, so that they can advance further. It is actually meant for animals. The persons, the humans who are animalistic in their approach. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu, but I could not hear properly. So, okay, I will hear your recording classes.
Yeah. Next. यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्षरक्षांसि राजसान् वेदान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते यजन्ते तामसा जना. So,
Verse number 3.
sorry. I went ahead. I was saying, how did I go? Jump like सत्त्वानुरूप सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत. श्रद्धामयोऽयं पुरुषो यो यच्छ्रद्धः श्रद्धः स एव सः. ओ भारत, the son of Bharata, श्रद्धा भवति भारत सत्त्वानुरूप सर्वस्य. Sarvasya. Everybody find a particular kind of Shraddha, some kind of faith. It is Anurupa. It's Anurupa, Sattva Anurupa. What is the meaning of Sattva Anurupa? According to the modes in which they are born with. Somebody is born with a particular kind of mode, depending on the particular mode in which he is born, according to that he acts. So according to that he has Shraddha also. According to one's existence in the various modes of nature, one involves a particular kind of Shraddha. The living is to be of a particular faith according to the mode he has acquired. Shraddha Mayoyam Purusho. Yo Yat Shraddhada Sa Eva Saha. Actually, the word faith or the quality called faith, it comes from goodness. But it transforms into three depending on their antakarana, mind, intelligence, false ego, and chitta. That is called antakarana. And in the antakarana, which actually makes one's swabhava, nature. Sattvika, somebody has Rajasika, somebody has Tamasika. Uh, Depending on that, he chooses a particular kind of object of worship. Those who are Sattvika, they worship the Devas. Those who are Rajasika, they worship Yakshas. Those who are Tamasika, they worship the Pretas. And by doing so, they also get the qualities of the deity they worship. That is why it is described as so sa eva, so sa eva. He gets the same nature of the deity whom he is worshipping. Now, fourth verse. Yajante sattvika devan iksharakshansi rajasu Vedan bhutan chan Vedan bhutakaram chanye Yajante tamasa jana Yajante tamasa jana Yajante sattvika devan. Those who are sattvika, they worship the devas. Rajasika, they worship Yaksharakshasas. Those who are tamasika, they worship pretas and bhutas and pretas. So please read the purport.
Rishabh Prabhuji, can you please read?
In this verse, the Supreme Personality of Godhead describes different kinds of worshippers according to their external activities. According to scriptural injunction, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipable. But those who are not very conversant with or faithful to the scriptural injunctions worship different objects according to the specific situations in the modes of material nature. Those who are situated in goodness generally worship the demigods. The demigods include Brahma, Shiva, others such as Indra, Chandra, and Sun God. There are various demigods. Those in goodness worship a particular demigod for a particular purpose. Similarly, those who are in the mode of passion worship the demons. We recall that during the Second World War, a man in Calcutta worshipped Hitler because, thanks to that war, he had amassed a large amount of wealth by dealing in the black market. Similarly, those in the mode of passion and ignorance generally select a powerful man to be God. They think that anyone can be worshipped as God and that the same results will be obtained. Now, it is clearly described here that those who are in the mode of passion worship and create such gods, and those who are in the mode of ignorance, in darkness, worship dead spirits. Sometimes people worship at the tomb of some dead man. Sexual service is also considered to be in the mode of darkness. Similarly, in remote villages in India, there are worshippers of ghosts. We have seen that in India, the lower class people sometimes go to the forest, and if they have knowledge that a ghost lives in a tree, they worship that tree and offer sacrifice. These different kinds of worship are not actually God worship. God worship is for persons who are transcendently situated in pure goodness. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 4.3.23, it is said, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabdhitam. When a man is situated in pure goodness, he worships Vasudeva. The purport is that those who are completely purified of the material modes of nature and who are transcendently situated can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonalists are supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness, and they worship five kinds of demigods. They worship the impersonal Vishnu form in the material world, which is known as philosophized Vishnu. Vishnu is the expansion of the Supreme Personality Godhead, but the impersonalists, because they do not ultimately believe the Supreme Personality of Godhead, imagine that the Vishnu form is just another aspect of the impersonal Brahma. Similarly, they imagine that Lord Brahma is the impersonal form in the material mode of passion. Thus, they sometimes describe 5 kinds of gods that are worshipable, but because they think that the actual truth is impersonal Brahman, they dispose of all worshipable objects at the ultimate end. In conclusion, the different qualities of the material modes of nature can be purified through association with persons who are of transcendental nature.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I have one question. In the previous verse, in the purport,
Yeah.
there comes a line, the contaminated modes of material nature expand to the heart. So what does this mean, Prabhuji?
Okay. Contaminated modes of nature. Consciousness is contaminated modes of nature. That's called chitta. And the chitta expands into the mind, which is now the heart, is called actually the mind, as the swabhava. Swabhava. Swabhava means, like in the previous verse, there is word sattva anurupa, isn't it? What is the meaning of the word sattva there? What is the meaning? Tell me. Sattva
According
anurupa.
to the mode, according to the mode one has acquired, according to the existence that is written in the translation.
According to the
Existence.
existence. What is that? That is conditional existence. So the conditioned existence, sattva rupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata shraddha mayoyam purusho yo yat shraddha sa eva saha. So according to the modes of nature, you get a particular swabhava. Swabhava means nature. So that is described as entering to the heart. One is internal, other is external. Internal is the modes. External is your behavior or your nature. So that is what is described. For example, somebody's nature is to become angry. Why? Because internally passion is more. Got it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have few questions in the fourth purport as well. It is said that
No problem, no problem.
yes, people, those who are in the mode of goodness, they worship demigods, and here it is written Lord Shiva as well. But we see that Shiva Puran, etc., these are for the people who are in the mode of ignorance. Like, so why it is it?
Now you should see that Lord Shiva is a multi-dimensional personality. Sri Shivaya Sarvagurave Namaha. Vaishnavas, we worship Shiva because he is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava Namitasham. For those people who want liberation, Sattvikas, they also worship Lord Shiva. And the person who gives transcendental knowledge to them. In passion, those who have got some material desires, they worship Lord Shiva. And there are some tamasic Bhuta Ganas, they worship Lord Shiva. They also worship Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is Sarva Gurave Namaha. He is a spiritual master for everyone. That is Lord Shiva's speciality. So, we just cannot categorize a person who is worshipping Lord Shiva and tell he is in goodness, he is in passion, he is in that, and this like that. Because all those who are in different modes, they worship the Lord Shiva in different moods. Okay. Got
Okay,
it?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just two more. What is the meaning of philosophized Vishnu that came in the last paragraph? And the impersonalists, they sometimes describe 5 kinds of God. So what are they?
So there are some people who say Vishnu, Vishnu, but they don't consider Vishnu as a person. That is called philosophized Vishnu. Not to see Vishnu as a person. That is called philosophized Vishnu. Next, 5. Panchopasana. Sripa Shankaracharya in the line of he after writing the Mayavad Siddhanta, he used a process to realize the impersonal Brahman and understand that you are not God. You understand, try to know your God. But then he used Panchopasana. You worship Ganesha, you worship Surya, you worship Durga, you worship Shiva, you worship Vishnu. You select any of the five and worship any of them, then you will get the same result. This is called Panchopasana. Five. Okay, got it?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Prabhuji, the impersonalist, if they are worshipping Vishnu, considering him impersonal, so directly or indirectly, do they get any devotional benefit? As we say, even unknowingly chanting Lord Vishnu's name gives us spiritual benefit.
Yeah. If they are not offending Vishnu, thinking Vishnu has a material body, Vishnu has a material body, then they'll get benefit. If they are worshipping, thinking that Vishnu has a material body like us, Vishnu has a material body like us, they will go to hell.
Okay.
Okay? Mayavadis are Krishna Paradis. Brahmavadis are not.
And Prabhuji, why these impersonalists? Because they think God has no form, but they take the help of a form for their sadhana.
I don't understand.
Oh, here they are Panchupasana they do. Their concept is God has no form, but they are
Ah,
for their sadhana they are creating some God with a form for
ah,
their process.
yeah.
So isn't it like contradictory?
So that is thinking Vishnu's form is made up of matter. If they are doing that, then they will go to hell because you're offending Vishnu. Like for example, comparing. You may say Vishnu is very great, but if you compare Vishnu to a human, it is like saying, "Oh, glorifying a girl. Oh, who's very beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're wonderful. You're like that. You're like moon. You're like lotus. You're that. You're this. Oh, why speak so many things? You're the most beautifulest person which I ever saw. Oh, in one line, I would like to glorify you that you are more beautiful than a buffalo. Is it glorification?
No.
No. Did you say something wrong? She's beautiful than buffalo or not? Yes, na? But the very comparison you made is wrong. It's insulting. So the Mayavadis, they may glorify Krishna, very beautiful and that, but they compare the form of the Lord to material, matter. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Next. Next, fifth verse, fifth and sixth. अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तपत्यन्ते तपोजन तप्यन्ते तपोजन दम्भाङ्कारसंयुक्त कामरागाबलान्विता शयन्त शरीरस्थं भूतग्रामं मथेदसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तं विद्धि आसुर निश्चयम्. Now, in In the previous chapter, it is said that those who do not follow Vedic authority are never freed from the lower path. That is what is described here in this verse. Know these people to be demoniac who are filled with these qualities. Ashastra vihitam ghoram. Those who undergo severe austerities with penances which are not recommended in the scriptures. Why they do that? Because of dambha mana. Because of kama raga balanvitaha. Because of kama and raga balanvitaha, lust and attachment, and they have this pride and karshantaha sharirastam dambahankara samyukta kamaraga balanvitaha. And now karshantaha sharirastam, what they do? They undergo some severe austerities to such an extent that they give pain to me, because I am there in everybody's heart as super soul. And they should be known as demons. Anybody who does any austerity which is not mentioned in the scriptures, that person is a demon. Even though he is doing upvasi demon. So it should be according to scriptures. That is the main thing. Even though you are doing austerity, if it is not according to scriptures, then the austerity is demoniac. So Krishna is reminding this again. You see, follow scriptures, follow scriptures, follow scriptures. So read the purport.
Radhanani Mataji, can you please read?
There are persons who manufacture modes of austerity and penance which are not mentioned in the scriptural injunctions. For instance, fasting for some ulterior purpose, such as to promote a purely political end, is not mentioned in the scriptural directions. The scriptures recommend fasting for spiritual advancement, not for some political end or social purpose. Persons who take to such austerities are, according to Bhagavad Gita, certainly demoniac. Their acts are against the scriptural injunctions and are not beneficial for the people in general. Actually, they act out of pride, false ego, lust, and attachment for material enjoyment. By such activities, not only is the combination of material elements of which the body is constructed disturbed, but also the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself living within the body. Such unauthorized fasting or austerities for some political end are certainly very disturbing to others. They are not mentioned in the Vedic literature. A demoniac person may think that he can force his enemy or other parties to comply with his desire by this method, but sometimes one dies by such fasting. These acts are not approved by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he says that those who engage in them are demons. Such demonstrations are insults to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are enacted in disobedience to the Vedic scriptural injunctions. The word achetasa is significant in this connection. Persons of normal mental condition must obey the scriptural injunctions. Those who are not in such a position neglect and disobey the scriptures and manufacture their own way of austerities and penances. One should always remember the ultimate end of the demoniac people as described in the previous chapter. The Lord forces them to take birth in the wombs of demoniac persons. Consequently, they will live by demoniac principles life after life without knowing their relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If, however, such persons are fortunate enough to be guided by a spiritual master who can direct them to the path of Vedic wisdom, they can get out of this entanglement and ultimately achieve the supreme goal.
Next. Now, start speaking about the ahara, food. Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika ahara. So let us see how this ahara is there of those people who are in the different modes. Aharastavi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyah yajnatapastataadaram tasam nedam imam shrunu. Not only ahara, I'm going to speak to you about the three kinds of food. three kinds of sacrifice, three kinds of austerity, three kinds of charity. Now here there are distinctions. Now, Sattvika, eighth verse. Ayu sattabala arogya sukapriti vivardhana rasya rasyaha snigdaha stiraha hridyaha ahara sattvika priyaha. So those who are in the mode of goodness, they like to eat these things. What? Those food which increases ayu, which increases sattva, power, which increases bala, bodily strength, which increases arogya, which increases immunity, and which gives you satisfaction, sukha, and priti, which increases um, which gives satisfaction to the mind is called priti. Satisfaction to the senses is called sukha. In which the food increases your qualities, uh, like milk, uh, rice, wheat, sugar. They are liked by those who are in Sattvika, and which are rasayaha, is juicy, uh, and it is mild, uh, and which is tiraha, which is uh, like dahi, etc., which are beneficial, uh, ardraha, which are beneficial to the stomach. So these foods are avoided by accepted by those who are sattvic. Because ahara shuddha sati shuddhi. If your food is pure, your mind is pure. As is your food, so is your mind. So it's important. There is no focus on food. Satvika food. If you take sattvic food, your mind will be sattvic. If you take rajasic food, then it will be rajasic. If you take tamasic food, it will be tamasic. Mind will be tamasic. Among different things which actually uh, affects our mind, the most important thing is the food. That's taken care of. Next. Katvam lalavanya tushnaha dikshtaruksha vidahina ahara rajasas cheshta dukha shogamaya prada dukha shogamaya prada. The food that is too bitter, sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and distress. Diseases only. Yatayam gadarasam bhuti varyudhishthikam chat chishtam chapi chamedyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten. Food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in mode of darkness. So, food is been described in 3 verses. So, please read the purport for this 10th verse.
Priya Prasha Mataji, can you please read?
The purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. This is its only purpose. In the past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life's duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. These foods are very dear to those in the mode of goodness. Some other foods, such as baked corn and molasses, while not very palatable in themselves, can be made pleasant when mixed with milk or other foods. They are then in the mode of goodness. All these foods are pure by nature. They are quite distinct from untouchable things like meat and liquor. Fatty foods, as mentioned in the eighth verse, have no connection with animal fat obtained by slaughter. Animal fat is available in the form of milk, which is the most wonderful of all foods. Milk, butter, cheese, and similar products give animal fat in a form which rules out any need for the killing of innocent creatures. It is only through brute mentality that this killing goes on. The civilized method of obtaining needed fat is by milk. Slaughter is the way of subhumans. Protein is amply available through split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. Foods in the mode of passion, which are bitter, too salty, or too hot, or overly mixed with red pepper, cause misery by reducing the mucus in the stomach, leading to disease. Foods in the mode of ignorance or darkness are essentially those that are not fresh. Any food cooked more than 3 hours before it is eaten, except prasadam, food offered to the Lord, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Because they are decomposing, such foods give a bad odor, which often attracts people in the mode but repulses those in the mode of goodness. Remnants of food may be eaten only when they are part of a meal that was first offered to the Supreme Lord or first eaten by saintly persons, especially the spiritual master. Otherwise, the remnants of food are considered to be in the mode of darkness and they increase infection or disease. Such foodstuffs, although very palatable to persons in the mode of darkness, are neither liked nor even touched by those in the mode of goodness. The best food is the remnants of what is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says that he accepts preparations of vegetables, flour, and milk when offered with devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Of course, devotion and love are the chief things which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts. But it is also mentioned that the prasadam should be prepared in a particular way. Any food prepared by the injunctions of the scripture and offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be taken even if prepared long ago, because such food is transcendental. Therefore, to make food antiseptic, eatable, and palatable for all persons, one should offer food to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
here we say the purpose of food is to increase the duration of life. Uh, so how if food, because we hear that everyone has the number of breaths each person takes are fixed by karma. So
Yeah. If you take sattvic food, then you need to you can live with minimum breaths per minute. Lesser breaths per minute. If you are taking rajasic, then you have to spend more breaths per minute. That is the reason.
oh,
Yeah. You take desi cow ghee, hot rice, moong dal, and you check how many times you have to breathe per day or per minute, and you eat mirchi ka bhaji, and you eat some Chinese Manchurian, and you see how many times you have to breathe.
I never noticed.
You notice, try out.
Hare
Rajas.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, prasadam is transcendental, but if a person is honoring prasadam, like eating prasadam, not honoring for sense gratification, then it will be.
Right. Now, when you say prasadam, what is the meaning of prasadam? Prasadam means you have to cook what Krishna likes and offer it to him and then accept it. That is called prasadam. But if you cook something in passion and ignorance and offer to Krishna, he will reject it. That is not called prasadam. That is called avashesha. It is not uchishta. So you want that Krishna should accept what you offer, or you want him to reject what you offer? Even you also reject. Sometimes your mother may cook, you would have cooked and given to you. You don't like it, want you to reject it, isn't it? When we who have no choice, when we reject something, just imagine Krishna has an entire world in his disposal. He can reject. So you should cook according to Ayurveda, according to the scriptures. That is called satvika. Then offer to Krishna. That becomes prasadam, because Krishna would like to take something which is seasonal and which is cooked accordingly. Cooking is a big art. It's not only art, it is a science. You just start cooking good food and feeding people. Okay?
Hare Krishna.
Ah.
Prabhu, that 3 hours before, it's mentioned that 3 hours before you have to take the food. Of prasadam, we can take after 3 hours also.
When I say prasadam, you should make sure that it is served before 3 hours.
Okay.
Prasadam, make sure it is served before 3 hours.
But before 3 hours. Okay.
Ah. And it should be prasadam, that means it should be in mode of goodness.
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, the whatever we cook, the bhoga, that should be offered. That should we should not let Krishna wait for it. So of course, that once his preparation is done, we should offer. So, but when the 3 hours are done, and now it's prasad. So prasad is never contaminated. So how to understand that if we are honoring prasad after 3 hours? So if you can please tell that it's not.
That is what I'm telling you. After making offer to Krishna and serve immediately, hot rice. If you take cold chapati, then you will die soon. If you take cold rice, then you get tough. What your grandmother used to, how your grandmother used to serve you, tell me?
Yeah, I was not fortunate enough to have, but yes, I know uh, that my friends used to tell that they used to serve hot chapati with ghee. Yes.
If you don't serve chapati hot, apply pure desi cow ghee, the chapati will never get digested.
Okay.
Godum has to go along with ghee. You may take rice without ghee, no problem. That does not give such bad effect. If you take chapatis without ghee, that was godum chapati, it's gehu. Then gone. And that time it is cold, then gone, totally gone. You're one day closer to death.
Prabhuji, if in that case we are giving food to our kids in for school and everywhere, so how to manage that? Anyhow, it will going to get colder.
So there are certain foods which are which are which are durable after 3 hours. We are talking about basically about rice and chapatis and some varieties of sabji. There are certain foods which can stay over a period of time, but still it cannot be a daily affair. You don't have to send your children to school.
So, Prabhuji, is there any list which at least we can get guidance for, like which food we should give and
I can give one item, idli. Even after 3 hours, it's fermented. Of course, that is not really high class food to be offered to the Lord. It's a food which can be taken even in cold because it is already externally fermented. I had to take a class on Ayurveda for all of you. Then just give one example. But it cannot be a regular item. It cannot be a regular feature. Most of the children fall sick because they eat cold food. And you send them to school and you don't serve them hot. So what to do?
Prabhuji, I didn't get.
It has the children have to get hot food, fresh food.
I think there is disturbance, or I'm not able to understand.
Actually, your voice is not clear. We are really not able to understand. We are trying hard,
Yes,
One
but
minute.
able.
Now is it okay?
Better,
yes,
better.
Better.
Prabhuji, being mother, it's very typical topic, because if we are cooking, I cook, I get up early in the morning to just to give food for lunch, and if it's not helping in any way spiritually or in health, according to his health, so then all ये सारा मेहनत ही बेकार हो गया.
हाँ हाँ मेहनत बेकार ही है वो गरम जरा गरम चीज नहीं मिलेगा तो क्यों क्या hot food especially rice chapati should be hot. You tell those people who are eating if you're not able to cook ask them to make rice hot rice and eat. What you can do? Cold things cold food is not healthy.
तो प्रभु जी उसको दोबारा गर्म करते हैं, we heat it in microwave.
Then if you heat again then it becomes poison.
Oh.
Ayurveda says it. I am not saying what I can do.
Prabhuji, you are saying something like in place of that we can give something in lunch.
That
What
cannot
was
be. That cannot be. There is only emergency 1 or 2 days. But regular thing cannot be possible. It's not possible. I take a long class on health to the brahmacharis wherever I go. And all brahmacharis in all temples, they are sick because they eat cold food. They eat this stupid paneer. They eat aloo, big aloo or boiled aloo. Any masala, any sabji, anything they just put. If you don't take food as medicine, you will be taking medicine as food. I'll repeat. If you don't take food as medicine, you will take medicine as food one day. The days are not far.
Prabhuji, from where we can get all this information?
Like, just follow what your
especially for
grandmother did. Just follow what your grandmother fed you. That's all. Or you go to some village in Punjab or UP. Go to really old small village and see how, especially those who are born in Brahmin families in village, go to their house and eat. It may be anywhere in India. What sabji they make, what kind of masala they put. Should learn from them. Yeah, you can try out. Even in Delhi also you can try out. Somewhere, go to a traditional family, old lady, grandmother, and how nice she makes the chapatis, and she would not serve without ghee. Unfortunately, we don't get cow ghee and we are not using that. And that's another problem. So much of degradation has happened in food. Very unfortunate. We are earning a lot of money, but the quality of food what we are taking is degraded. You are earning 2 lakh rupees a month for your child and sending the child to a school paying 20,000 rupees a month for the education. But education requires good brains, and the good brains comes from good food. That is not there. Burger, pizza, order from something, bread. Is it a thing to eat or what? Bread. Bakery items are the most horrible items. It is not meant for this country. It is meant for countries which cold climate minus 10 degrees like that. Every day a child is eating bread butter, bread butter, bread butter. The whole butter is accumulating in the body. They all become those zombies. Because the mother wants to go early to the office. So, बेटा तुमको जब ब्रेड रखा है जैम ब्रेड बटर लगा के खा जाना. No time to make paratas. Ghee with ghee. That's the problem. What for that job? What for that house? What for the degree? Is a basic ingredient of life, which food is not prepared properly and served properly. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
in the search of having a cow's ghee, I wandered so many places. Like I have tried A2
I,
ghee,
I,
I have
I,
tried Bellona
I,
ghee,
you
this
take
ghee,
ghee
ISKCON
from
ghee.
our Gosala.
Yes,
But
from
it's very
Vrindavan,
expensive. Very
Barsana.
expensive. Very
Pardon?
expensive. Cow ghee,
Exactly.
you will not get less than 2,000, 2,500 rupees a kilo.
So yes, from where we can get actually desi cow ghee, Prabhuji.
You can take from our Gosala. I'll give you the number.
Thank you so much.
I'll give you the number you want. All cow products, all Gosala. How many of you have seen my lecture on cow products?
I see.
Is there? You see that again. It is there in Panjai Bag. I had given one lecture. Very
Prabhuji,
comprehensive.
can anybody please share in the group also the
Yes,
lecture
Mataji.
and the number from where I can get, because
Yes,
I'm
Mataji.
planning to visit to India, so at that time I'll take.
Yes, I'll send that link to Mataji.
No, I'll share Mataji with all.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, droplets also. Colgate droplets.
Yeah, that is to be used every day. I use it every 3 times a day. That keeps me on doing 4 lectures, 5 lectures a day. Okay, next.
Hare Krishna,
After,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Pranam, Prabhuji.
yeah.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for sharing this rare inputs by you on Ayurveda. And I would really request you to conduct an Ayurvedic session for us. So basic things that we can incorporate in our lives. And
No problem. I'll do that. Special session.
Prabhuji, and one more thing that we see in all ISKCON temples right now, they are feeding bakery items to Krishna.
Yeah,
And
there's a money making
cakes.
business. Money making business. So their argument is, I accept that argument, though not 100%, not wholeheartedly. They say that any of people are buying cakes, breads, and buns and outside. So you cannot stop them now. So at least they'll get something which is pure without egg. That is an argument. And I don't have a counter argument to it. But at the same time, I would not accept it wholeheartedly. but accept it. Like for example, in the gift shop, you have so many things. That doesn't mean that the devotees have to go and buy all the things, isn't it? It is meant for certain people. Like for example, in when somebody goes to do some college program, then they take guitar and all these things and do something. A gimmick to attract people. But that doesn't mean you sit in the temple and do all these things, use djembe, guitar and Casio and all. Simple mridang, kartal. That's all. That's all. Why some bhajan is there, harmonium. So these gimmicks are only to attract people. That's not for devotees. Like for example, there is a life membership program. That is for those who want to come and become a member. But for someone who is initiated, he can make members, but he may be a life member, but so not temple, especially ISKCON temples are meant for all kinds of people. So since you are very advanced in Bhakti śāstrī, that doesn't mean you accept something which is nowhere for you just because it is in the temple. Just because something is a temple, that doesn't mean it becomes divine. Isn't it? Okay.
No,
We go.
excuse me, Prabhuji. I want to ask something. So it's fine that for the general public they are keeping breads and pastries and all. But why there is a need to offer to the deities? Because in the evening, in the morning snacks, they are giving breads and cakes and like not breads, cakes and cookies and all. So why there is a need? Because before all these we had khajas, we had different types of namkeens and all.
We don't need. We don't need. I'm against it. I never give.
And also it is cooked before 3 hours because it cannot be served freshly. It has to be cooked and then it is to be cooled down and then.
Yes.
And in temple, I've seen that I've heard that the kheer they offer in the Bal Bhog is made at night only. They don't cook in the morning. So almost 3 or 4 hours has passed.
Kheer, rice thing, it should not be made like one day before. That becomes morning. It cannot be offered. That's wrong. I've been shouting at people, but no, don't listen. Remedy can be given because there's no rice in it. Once you have rice, then after 3 years it is avidya. You cannot even eat what to speak offering to Krishna. Oh, we kept in the fridge. Are baap re baap. The other one bimari ka shrot for your body is fridge. Other bimari ka shrot for your mind is TV. Of course, that has become mobile now. Somebody called me. I'm having that, I have this problem, that problem. I told, if I give a solution, you will not listen. I told, no, Prabhuji, we'll listen. Whatever solution we'll give them. I told you, throw the fridge out. And they know how Prabhuji, how if there's no fridge, how will we eat? I knew. Because he had severe cough problem. And why? What is the cause of severe cough? Because he eats the rice which is kept in fridge. Without he telling, I understand. And he told me, Prabhuji, I am alone. So I cook in the morning. And then I only cook once. I go eat morning and keep the whatever I cooked in the fridge and come at night and eat. What will happen? So what we can do? Throw the fridge. Okay, so let's go to the.
So okay, Prabhuji, then apart from pure cow ghee, can't we use the cold pressed, groundnut oil or sarson
There are
tel?
certain things you have to put ghee, certain things oil. Deep fry should not be done in ghee. Another idiot, another foolishness. These Matajis, when they get intoxicated with some ghee, and they fry everything in ghee. Ghee is not meant for frying. Oil, you fry in oil and then put chalk in ghee. They do ulta.
So what about puris and all? Because it is said that we should
Puri
offer
should be
only.
fried in oil, not in ghee. It is if you are making for one person, two people, then you can fry in ghee, but that fry should be in a different way. Because when you heat the ghee with high flames, the frying, then there is a chance of it becoming a toxin. It loses its lot of potencies. It should be heated, but not to the extent of the heat which can fry. It is only for chalk. Heat for chalk.
Okay, I've heard that the puris that to be served to the didis should be made in ghee. So I just try to make for the didis only. For rest of us, we cook
that,
in oil.
those puris are different puris. See, in Bengal, they make certain kind of puris, which takes low flame, long time you fry. The kachori.
Okay.
That is made, can be made in ghee. Kachori can be made in ghee because it requires what? Low flame and long time.
So is it fine that if we fry puris in oil and we can offer to the didis, whatever snacks, whatever, the
All
namkeen and
the
all.
oils, the best oil is tila. Tela comes from the word til. Til se tel आया शब्द. Tel शब्द til से आया. So the first and the topmost is til, same oil. And then
And that can be taken in only winters, right?
the sarso is for only winter. Til is for all seasons.
Okay.
Sarso means.
Prabhuji, I request you to take the class today or tomorrow, please. Or is there any course which I can do how to
You will
make a
first
food
hear
for
the class
deities?
on cow therapy, and then we can talk on this.
Right.
Please. Just one thing. Till oil for frying we can use.
Yes. Till groundnut, everything.
Groundnut also. Okay, thank you so much.
If you're in cold countries, winter time, you use sarso, mustard oil. If you're in South India, you have a lot of coconut, you can use coconut oil.
Tunji, what do you say about Pathmeda ghee and all? Pathmeda products? Pathmeda.
We don't want to talk about any companies.
They have a big goshala in on the border of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Pathmeda, and they say in the name of.
Pathmeda is hijacked. You know very well.
It's now in Ved Lakshana. The product's name is Ved Lakshana.
Now they are doing in other brand because Pathmeda brand is hijacked.
I know that. Now they are selling in the name of Ved Lakshana.
Prabhuji, sunflower oil, it should be edible?
Tamasic. Now you get cotton seed oil. Cotton seed oil is not spared. Okay, so we'll just do a couple of verses and then see 11th verse. Sacrifice. We'll do one aspect of sacrifice and then see. Sacrifice. Okay. Afalakanksha biryajno vidhitishto ya ijyade yashtavyam evedi manaha samadaya sattikaha. Of the sacrifice performed according to the directions of scriptures as matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of mode of goodness, nature of goodness. Afalakangshihi, no desire for any results. Yajnaha Vidhi Dishtaha means according to direction of scriptures. According to Vidi Diyate, Shtavyam Eva iti Manaha Samadhaya. Manaha Samadhaya, fixing the mind in the matter of duty. I'm just doing because of its duty, I'm just doing for that. That's called Sattvika. And Abhisandhayatu Phalam Dambhartam api chaiva vat vidyate Bharata Shrestha Yajnam Vidhi Rajasam. And what is Rajasa? The sacrifice performed for material benefit. Now, for the sake of pride, oh, Jiva Bharata, you should know this is a mode of passion. Then tamas, viddehinam masrashtannam mantrahinam madakshinam shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam parichakshate. Now, the sacrifice which is performed without any regard to scriptures, without distribution of prasad. That is why any activity you do, sacrifice, prasadam should be there. And mantrahinam means without practicing mantras or chanting proper mantras. Adakshinam, after sacrifice, you don't give any dakshina to the priest. Shraddha vihitam yajnam, without shraddha. That yajna is tamasam uchate, it is tamasa, mode of ignorance. Then, austerity in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Devadvijak Guru Prajna Pujanam Sauchamarjavam Brahmacharya Mahimsa cha Shariram Tapochate. Actually, this tapasa of the body is like this. Austerity of the body, worship of the Supreme Lord, Deva, Vija means Brahmanas, Guru, spiritual master, Prajna, the learned people, worshipable personalities. Pujanam Saucham Arjavam, worshipping them, Saucham, cleanliness, Arjavam, simplicity, Brahmachari, celibacy, Ahimsa, non-violence, Shariram, Tapochate. These are the austerities pertaining to the body. Austerity pertaining to the body. Okay, read that purport. Austerity pertaining to the body.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. The Supreme Godhead has here explains the different kinds of austerity and penance. First, he explains the austerities and penances practiced by the body. One should offer or learn to offer respect to God or to the demigods, the perfect, qualified brahmanas, and the spiritual master, and the superiors like father, mother, or any person who is conversant with Vedic knowledge. These should be given proper respect. One should practice cleansing oneself externally and internally, and he should learn to become simple and in behavior. He should not do anything which is not sanctioned by the scriptural injunctions. He should not indulge in sex outside of marriage life, for sex is sanctioned in the scripture only in the marriage, not otherwise. This is called celibacy. These are the penances and austerities as far as the body is concerned.
Yes. Then austerity of speech. Anadvekaram makyam satyam priyetam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchate. Austerity of speech consists of anadvekaram makyam. Speak something which is not agitating others. Satyam, truth. You speak truth, but it should not be agitating to others. But you should speak truth only when it is priya hitam. It is the benefit of others. And it should be spoken in a very pleasing way. And even though everything is there, but if you're not studying scriptures, then you don't know what is absolute truth, then the relative truth has no value. So read the purport.
One should not speak in such a way as to agitate the minds of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his students. But such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his students if he will agitate their minds. This is penance as far as talking is concerned. Besides that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circles is to say something upheld by the scriptures. One should at once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There is a limitless stock of Vedic literature, and one should study this. This is called penance of speech.
And next, austerity of mind. Malaprasada saumyatvam maunam matavirigraha bhava samshuddhir ityetat tapo vangmayamuchyate. Satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence, and are the austerities of the mind. These are three austerities of the mind. Okay. Read the purport.
To make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. It should be so trained that it can be always thinking of doing good for others. The best training for the mind is gravity in thought. One should not deviate from Krishna consciousness and must always avoid sense gratification. To purify one's nature is to become Krishna conscious. Satisfaction of the mind can be obtained only by taking the mind away from the thoughts of sense enjoyment. The more we think of sense enjoyment, the more the mind becomes dissatisfied. In the present age, we unnecessarily engage the mind in so many different ways for sense gratification. And so there is no possibility of the mind's becoming satisfied. The best course is to divert the mind to the Vedic literatures, which is full of satisfying stories, as in the Puranas and the Mahabharata. One can take advantage of this knowledge and thus become purified. The mind should be devoid of duplicity, and one should think of the welfare of all. Silence means that one is always thinking of self realization. The person in Krishna consciousness observes perfect silence in this sense. Control of the mind means detaching the mind from the sense enjoyment. One should be straightforward in his dealings and therefore purify his existence. All these qualities together constitute austerity in mental activities.
Okay, so we have done till now this thing. Then we'll see. We'll require around how many classes? We require around 18 chapter require 2 classes. 3 more classes are required.
Probably we have our next class on 15th. So before that, 14th, if you have time, then we can have more sessions also.
Okay. I'll give the dates. Tomorrow not possible because tomorrow I'll be going to Gorakhpur. I'll be landing Gorakhpur at 6 o'clock. I'll be too much. Ekadashi also. So tomorrow night, evening around 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I'll give the schedule. What are the dates which I can give the classes? 3 classes. Okay.
Okay, we'll see. Thank you so
Prabhuji,
very
three plus one for Ayurvedic session.
Okay, okay.
4.
No problem. We'll do that. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you so very much, Prabhuji. Dantna.